Texoma Exotics presents Not Another Reptile podcast.
Hello. I like your little intro.
Oh,
thank you.
It's pretty cool.
It gets me going with that little robot, right?
I know. Mom, the meatloaf. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Well, how are you?
Thank you.
Pretty good. I just trying to get the season going. You know, it seems really slow, but I'm starting to get more progress, so I'm getting a little more excited. You know.
Oh, I bet.
I can't wait to even get to that level of just even breeding more and getting that excitement. I'm there. I just can't wait till my first hatch drops and everything. So
that's awesome. Yeah, once you get that, you're hooked. You're done.
So
we were clipping rats today, and I went and checked my females, and my hurricane finally locked today with a female, and I was just like, ooh.
Yeah.
But I've been ready just to trade him off because he's never done anything. He just lays there.
I hate that.
So, but
I had two really good locks. I had three good locks this week from new males too that I was raising and feeding up really good and hoping they would go this season. And one was a black pastel red striped nanny clown, and the other one was a black pastel red striped clown, and then the other one was hypo puzzle. And those all locked up this week, and I was like, yeah. So hopefully.
Way too.
That's a wild. I like that. That whole that nanny. You're into nanny.
I do more Grim than anything. I got a lot of Grim projects. Nanny's that's my only nanny I own.
Okay.
But I mean, it's all granite type genes. Some have do different effects than others, but at the end of the day, they're both granite based genes, like the Grim and all those other genes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love granite genes.
So Ken, I know that your name obviously is Ken Macek, and it actually it caught your name just caught my eye when I was telling you about on YouTube, and I followed you ever since, and I just the simple question is how long have you started when you started to your move you moved and everything
Well, what happened was I started breeding reptiles when I started growing my goatee, and that's been about 2 months. So honestly, I've been doing reptiles forever. I would have to say on a professional level, making really decent money and making a living and doing really well, where I was able to make a career change. I would say 14, 15 years, maybe.
Nice.
I'd have to say 9, 10, 11, about 13, 14 years when I really was doing well, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to shut down my business that I was, making $125,000 a year doing tattoos. For the last 30 years, I was tattooing and it was breaking my neck and back, and I was just burnt out, with that scene. So it was nice to be able to get away, I mean, I still love tattoos, but I just didn't want to have to slave and do them all day long when I'd rather make my artwork now on my snakes. So it's just a different palette. It's just a different a canvas for me, you know what I mean, to create my artwork. So I always have to be an artist, and whatever I do for money, I like to do art. I even play guitar, I'm always I'm not a mechanic. I can't fix shit. I'm horrible as a man, doing manly stuff, but I'm really good at doing creating, drawing, tattooing, music, entertaining, things like that. I'm good at that, but I'm not good at
yeah. What was your first ball python?
Yeah. My wife makes always fun of me. Man, you can't fix this. You can't fix. I said I fixed a few things in my life before. She just thinks I can't fix a thing. She thinks.
What was your first ball python combination?
Oh God, Okay, I gotta tell you, my first one that got me known. Okay, I'll do that because I don't remember. The other one.
Right.
Okay, so the first one that put me on the map, I consider that was the game changer for me that put me in the public's eye was I'm the first one that made the world's first spider clowns, bumblebee clowns, killer bee clowns, and lemon blast clowns. I was the first to make all the else combos. No one was ever made them before. So I
Wow.
came in the industry late, where everybody was making really crazy stuff and buying $30,000, $20,000, $30,000 pinstripes and really crazy stuff like that back then. But I came in a little bit late to the game. I was always doing retics, berms, king cobras, all kinds of crazy stuff. Gaboon viper. I mean, the list goes on. But I got out of all the crazy wild stuff that I loved, and I says, well, how I really got in. Do you want to know how I really got into it? I don't really tell too many people the story. It's kind of messed up. I shouldn't even tell a story. Anyways, I used to make fun of ball pythons and ball python people back in the day because I was into like the dangerous, bigger, wild stuff. I had a 500-pound alligator in my basement. I liked crazy, back in the day. So my friend always needed money. His name was Will Slough. He was the creator of the banana, the guy who had created the first banana. We were homies, and he would say, "Oh, I need some money. Will you buy this clown off me or this black pastel off me?" And I would help him give him some money. Well, next thing you know, I have a rack full of ball pythons I'm saving because I'm thinking I'm going to sell them and make profit on them, because he gave me good deals. And next thing you know, I fell in love with them, and then I started making money with them, and then I got rid of all the crazy stuff and went full on ball python crazy, making money and actually loving the snake. It started off weird at first, but then I ended up falling in love with it. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty weird story, but
What does your wife think about your reptiles?
what?
What does your wife think about your
Oh,
reptiles?
she loves it. We have a good life because of them. Yeah. I mean, it's a big part of our life. I mean, one side of the house is the baby room. Right in the middle of the house is separated from everything, and that's the main breeding room. And it's always been a big part of our. It's our life. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, she loves them. I mean,
That's awesome.
I think she wouldn't love them if I didn't make money.
Yeah, it is hard, but you did say you buy your rodents, so that does make it easier from a breeder's perspective who does both. It's rodents are pretty gross, so.
But the market has been a little bit tough. I've been blessed and have a few good sales, so I feel very blessed about that. And I'm doing well. I'm going to get through the year fine, and so I feel super, super happy about that. So it took some pressure off with some nice sales. But as far as the market, everybody keeps, I don't know, it's just so weird these days how everybody's crying this way. One person's crying that way. One saying it's over. One person's saying it's growing. One person says that they're doing the best they ever have. Then 90 other people are saying, I'm getting out. It's like, it's all over the place,
Yeah.
And I believe, tell me one place in the world right now that is doing well financially.
Right.
Everything is in a mess. So why would snakes be the only thing on the planet that is actually going bananas? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
People are going to have to wait till the economy gets better and we'll be okay. That's what I keep trying to tell all my friends. I'm like, be smart, breed smart things, breed for the future. Don't make too much stuff that you can't get rid of, but breed for your future, and then stick to your guns. And the economy will have to turn, or we're all going to be homeless, and it's not going to matter. True.
Or snakes.
Yeah, we're all going to be screwed. So
carrying around bags of snakes.
So let it go and just breed your snakes, enjoy it, and try to take this wild ride through the U.S. that's going on, and come out the other side. Maybe I'm praying we do come out through the other side, and everything in the world gets better, but a little better. But I mean, all you could do is one day at a time, and focus. The thing is, people are losing their focus.
Yes.
And that's it's gonna hurt them. You got to stay in where you're going and block out the crazy, and then when things clear, you're going to be in a nice spot. I think the people that are just they're going to hurt themselves.
How many clutches do you anticipate this year?
I don't know. I told you the other day. I made like 1 year. It was 2 years ago. I made 750 babies, and that was absurd. I'm not doing it again. So,
wow.
And I usually average between 350 to 450 on my normal average. So if I even get 200 babies this year, but they're quality 200, that'd be better than making 450.
Exactly.
So I'm shooting more for quality over quantity right now. And I still have a baby room full of stuff from last year that's really nice to sell still. So even if I didn't breed this year, I still have enough inventory. If I get off my butt and post them,
I
to
was gonna say, I
probably be
haven't
okay.
seen them
I
on
was
Morph
going to
Market,
say,
Ken.
that's the big question.
Haven't seen them on Morph Market, Ken.
Too lazy. I'm lazy. I'm lazy.
I'm glad you're a little lazy, because if I seen more, I'd be more in debt.
All right, I'll put it in your private messages. No, but honestly, like, it's hard for me lately to post ads because it's hard for me to understand where the pricing is these days. One guy's doing this, one's doing that, and they're so different than each other that when I make the ad, I almost feel like, well, what am I doing? I don't even know what the price is at. And am I wasting my time? Am I not wasting my time? I usually have my own customers. They call me up. Like I had 2 people today. Hey, what do you have available as far as male clowns, combos? Send me a list. I get a lot of that too. And that's kind of probably what made me lazy from posting up too. But I need to start posting up.
Yeah, because I think Paul and I are both really interested in some more clown stuff. And I know, he loves the bang and I love the bang, but I have to wait for him.
Everybody loves the bang.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the few that you have on Morph Market now, I mean, and like that, you have that Cypress Russo, I think, clown on there, right? I think that's what it was.
Cypress Russo Entry Clown Hypo,
Yeah.
maybe? I don't. Yeah, maybe that one.
I was teetering on that. I was trying to figure out if I can get, because I wanted the bang, and then I wanted that, and I'm like, and then out of my mouth came, "Do you have a male bang?" I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck.
Right?
I'm like, so I mean, I might as well start some supers if at the time.
No, to be honest with you, I really like the project, and I think there's going to be things made in the future that are going to change some naysayers' minds later in the future. I've made a lot of orange dreams in my life, and I've made a lot of orange dream clowns, and there's something different about this, and I believe 110% it's different. And this is why I'm so excited about the project, because I think it's different and I really believe it in my heart. It's easy to sell a product when you believe in it. It's hard to sell a project when you if you don't really love it and have a passion for that gene. And the bang, I'm excited about it. I really love it. I think I'm going to make some really cool stuff in the future. I just got to layer it just right and figure out what the combinations are. But I mean, I made a blackhead bang clown, and I love that snake. I mean, I really love it.
Really?
Yeah, I looked at him the other day. Earlier today, he was going in the shed, but he still looks cool, man.
Send me a picture of that.
Yeah, I think I have a video of that of a reel. This is what I was going to say too. Since my son joined the Navy, if you watch my videos, my son helped me do the computer work, the camera, everything. It was me and my son. He helped me a lot with that stuff, But he went to the Navy. And so I missed them, and I missed doing the videos and playing guitar with them, and I can't really do YouTube videos anymore. So what I'm going to start doing for people that want to see my stuff is I'm going to try to do more of those short reels that I do on, the TikToks, the Facebook, the Instagrams, and do more short reels. And I was sticking to that for a while, and I was really pushing one out a day, and then I got lazy again.
Was that you're going to do your short reels on YouTube? You saying?
No, I can't do YouTube because I don't know what I'm doing.
I got you. So you're going to do it on Instagram and I got you. TikTok.
You've seen how hard it was me to get on this. You think I could do YouTube?
You're right. Listen. Holly is such brains in this whole operation right now. I mean, she knows this whole Canva and putting things together and putting my logo in the corner.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm like, that looks awesome.
It does.
She's like, you should jump on it. I'm like, I look at it and it's just.
You're like, what?
Chinese to me, yeah. I don't know.
I'm getting better with some things, but not quite to that level where I could film myself, edit in this software, and then make videos. You know what I mean? I'm good with the reels. I mean, I could do effects and transitions, and they make it pretty easy with TikTok and Instagram and all that. They make it easy where you can actually make some cool stuff. and I'm enjoying it. Like I have a lot of snakes on TikTok now too. I don't know if people know that. If they
Don't
come
make
to
me
it,
get
I make
TikTok,
some
Ken.
videos. Huh?
Don't make me get TikTok, Ken.
Okay,
still
don't do
trying
it
to
then.
get him to
But yeah, I have a
Facebook.
lot of cool stuff on there.
Damn it.
He needs to get Facebook, and I keep telling him Facebook, Facebook.
I don't want Facebook.
All I need is on the messenger
It's
part.
poison.
That's it.
Facebook is poison.
Yeah, I know. Do you have Messenger though? At least.
See, that's what she wants me to get. I don't
That's
have
all I
Messenger,
need to
but
have.
I think I'm gonna have. I guess. All right. I'm gonna have to download it.
The only reason I have Facebook is because I do a lot of business through there.
Yeah.
I do a lot of networking through there.
Okay.
But I will have to say I get a lot more attention on Instagram now than Facebook. And back in the day, Facebook was the thing, Instagram wasn't. The snake people seem to switch to Instagram now.
Mhm.
And you know, there's sometimes I could post a video like a reel on Instagram and get 10,000 views in a week, you know.
Yes.
And then sometimes I could post one up and only get 3,000, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it must be algorithms or something. I don't know.
With Facebook, you have to get into your local groups, your state groups, and all that. But once you do get established in there, you know, once you do start posting, you know, I even get a lot of reptile or the rodent part, you know, the breeders and stuff
Yeah.
wanting to buy from me. So, you know, it's good for business. I just
Oh, you
don't
have
like
to do it. You have to do it even if you don't want to.
Yeah.
If you want to do business, you know, like in
Right.
this industry, it's all social media.
It is. Absolutely.
You stay away from it, then you die off. Like,
Right.
I mean, look at Ralph Davis. You know who that is?
I know the name, and
Yeah.
but I don't know what he produced. I don't know what he was involved in.
Well, back in the day, they called him the king, and he had such nice stuff, and he was admired. Like he had a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
he pushed a lot of content out there and a lot of videos back early in the early days. And he stopped doing social media, and then all the new people, they don't know who he is.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so your social media plays a big role. Even though he was the king,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know now because of
So,
it. You know, so I mean, social. You know, you could be badass, but nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Mhm.
So speaking of social media, who do you learn from the most, you know, watching their videos or whatever?
I don't listen to nobody. I do my own thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I learned
I knew
nothing
that
from
was
these
coming.
people.
I knew it was coming.
I learned
I-
nothing from these people.
I learned nothing.
I mean, I don't like really. I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I've never heard a tip that helped me. I give a lot of tips to people, but you know, I've been doing it 30 years.
Yeah,
I mean, what's somebody that's doing it 3 years going to teach me? I mean,
right.
you know what I mean? I've been through so many experiences, egg-bound girls and getting eggs out and this and that a lot of people have never experienced. So like,
Mhm.
I don't know what tip I can get. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess you can always learn something from somebody. Okay, I learned one thing one time.
Uh-oh.
I think it was Billy from Mutation Creation took a metal spoon and got into the corners of his tub to clean the poo, and it worked really good as a tool. That was the only thing I think I've ever learned. I was like, oh, genius. I think that was one.
But like in
I
the
know.
industry, who like is there anybody that you admire? Like you know,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that I admire. Yeah. I just meant I don't really learn from
well,
watching their videos. You know what I mean? Now, if I might learn some things about different mutations that people are working with, that's something new and they're explaining it. I mean, then yeah, everybody's going to learn if it's new. I just thought you meant like husbandry and how to breed and how to ultrasound, how to do.
No.
I've done all that too long. You know, a long time. You know.
Mm.
And who do I like? A lot of the guys. I mean, even that Boss to You guy, Gavin.
Gavin. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really, really cool guy. I like him a lot. I mean, and he seems really, really nice. And I mean, I got a lot of friends around the industry. Like, you know, like Yeti's one of my friends. My friend John Rieger. I got tons. Bill McAdam. I can go on for like 22 hours of. I got a lot of friends in the industry. You know.
So you don't do any shows anymore, right?
No, I haven't for years.
Yeah.
I don't miss it.
I don't blame you. It costs a lot of money to even go to one, let alone set up.
I think I did a show. I think I did Tinley 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. But I have connections with my buddy in Ohio. He sells a lot of snakes for me too. And so I ship him the animals. and he buys the one whole aisle in Tinley. So he owns the whole aisle. He has the biggest buyout plot in Tinley, and he buys the whole aisle every year.
Wow.
And so he always saves me a table if I want one. And then he brings the cases, my animals, and everything. I just fly in, and then I just fly back home, and that's wonderful. And then he ships my animals back. But I don't have nothing against people that do shows. I don't like taking my animals out of my element and then putting them in spots where they can be contaminated. Not saying that they will, but I don't let people hold my snakes at shows, so that's not helpful either. Because I don't test every animal in my house. It's been tested, and I don't let anything come in without testing, and it's very closed in. And I don't really I'm doing well enough at home that I don't have to do a show.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And if I do need to get rid of some animals, I have enough friends that they purchase animals wholesale for me to take to the shows and then sell them. So they make money. I don't mind sharing the wealth. Like, hey, buddy, you want to make this much money? Here you go. Here's this pile, and here's this. And then they do the shows, and they do well, and then I do well because I don't have to be stressed out. I like selling more of the high end stuff and talking to the people like that, and they're selling more to the first time pet people or the new people into the thing. Because mostly I sell to breeders that are super serious or getting really serious. That's pretty much what I cater to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I really like. That's the spot I like being in.
So, what is some of your favorite codon genes?
Cool. Wow. Well, the thing's cool. That's one. I love blackhead. I love super blackhead stuff. I love nobody cares anymore, but I still like banana. I still think they're cool. I think banana clowns are amazing. But
I think they're gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just awesome. And I've made some really unique blackhead, like blackhead Herod Exantic, mahogany clowns. I made some really crazy mahogany bamboo clowns.
Wow.
So just crazy stuff. So I've been making these bamboo things that everybody laughs at me. Oh, bamboo's garbage. Bamboo clowns are garbage. And I don't listen to nobody. I don't care. I said, I'm going to make one that's going to be cool, and you're going to see. So I'm still working towards it, but I think I have last year finally achieved making some greatness with the clown, with the bamboo. And I really love those snakes that are really, really cool looking. And I'm still going to keep working at it. I just don't listen. And also, when I was telling you about the bumblebee clown, the spider clown, I was the first in the world to make that stuff.
Uh-huh.
I got made fun of by the big breeders. They're like, why would you breed a clown to a bumblebee? We've been doing this for all these years, and you just got in the hobby in the first season, and you did this, and none of us have done that before. There's a reason for that. And they laughed at me, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I just thought it might be cool. And they thought I was a joker for it. And then I made the first bumblebee clowns and killer bee clowns, and I was selling for $7,500 a piece.
Oh.
And they weren't laughing then. They were like,
they're opening up their wallets, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was my first season. Yeah, that was my first season. I made those hats. And by the second or third season, he launched me off. And then you remember the Bush League Breeders Club? Did you ever hear that?
No.
No,
it's
I
old
haven't.
school stuff. That's old school stuff. Okay, so that's a forum back in the old days that all the breeders would go on, all the serious breeders, and they would share things, share pictures before Facebook got crazy and busy. Okay. And it was wild there. It was all hardcore snake people. And every night before I went to bed, I was posting pictures and liking everybody's stuff because I'm trying to get my name known. And I'll tell you what, I think Bush League Breeders Club and putting in all that hard work of always pushing my name and liking everybody's stuff and becoming really involved in the community really launched me off. I think Bush League Breeders Club was huge, that forum. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, that people that do snakes do Facebook. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, they're selling snakes on Facebook. I'm like, get out. I'm like, no way. So I'm like, well, I better check that out, So, and that was it. And then Facebook pretty much killed Bush League Breeders Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I was Alluring Serpents podcast the other day, and I believe it was Antoine said that, he sells just as much off of Facebook as he does Instagram. So,
That's true.
either way.
There's different like guidelines on
Yes.
Facebook that you just basically just got to put a picture out. You can't, and everybody
it.
that knows about it.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing about Morph Market is that was hot when it first came out. It was just boom, boom, boom. I mean, it was just, and I really love the format of having your own stores, like having your own website.
Yeah.
I love a lot about Morph Market. It just seemed like it got a little bit congested, like King Snake did, and and King Snake went to hell pretty fast because, well, not fast. They were there forever. They were the kings, and before Morph Market. But on King Snake, it got to the point where you post up your ad, you're like, okay, and then you're like, go to look at it an hour later, and you're 13 pages back. And you're like, what?
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Yeah.
And you're scrolling. You're like, did it not load up? Did my ad not load up? Like, and then you find it 13 pages back. You're like, what the? So it got really ridiculous like that. And I feel like, there's so many people on Morph Market now. It almost feels that way too.
Mhm.
Like it's starting to get that way. But I don't know.
Well, what do you think about the Herp Social?
Herp Social. What is that? Is that a new thing that's going on?
That's the one that Mutation Creation come out with.
Oh, I heard about something like that. I haven't got to check it out yet. How do you like it?
I love it. It looks better than Facebook, and it's our community, and I don't have to deal with everybody else. So I really like it.
Yeah, I think
I might have to check that out. You got it too?
I have it, and there's another one that's even out too called Reptile Post, but I think Herp Social is probably gonna take off because I mean, anything that Billy touches turns to gold, kind of. Like he's been pushing it a lot.
Yeah.
So and then I think they're creating an app as well, so then you'll have it on your phone. It'll be easier to do, and
that's pretty cool.
And I'm not saying there's no guidelines, but you can post $1,000 snake on it and say it's $1,000. Instead of being worried about being banned.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna take off, and I think that's gonna end up crushing Morph Market. I think at one point, because you're gonna be able to list everything, and then it also connects to his. I think that Husbandry Pro he has.
Oh yeah.
So you can actually now connect that to Herp Social and push it right on. So it's one click and then onto Herp Social.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool. Me and Billy are cool too.
Yeah.
I can ask him about it,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Billy's
really
cool guy.
to see the future of that project, and
everything
to
is
make it easier for us.
Revolutionized.
Yep.
So
he's doing it.
It's just crazy how the market's changed. I'm getting to the point now where I was telling my friend the other day that we're making so many genes in one combo that we're not going to be able to really know 100% what's in it all.
Yep.
And Ozzy originally put like a disclaimer saying I'm not responsible if the gene's not there, blah, blah, blah. And at first I was kind of like, what the hell is that about? That's kind of weird. But then the more as we evolved, I'm kind of seeing what he was talking about. I was like, how are you going to know? It's just too much in one. And here's what I also told my friend the other day. It's pretty creepy. It's only been 9 years. It's only 9 breeding seasons, not a million years. It's only been 9 seasons that we went from single gene, double genes to 6, 7, 10 gene combos.
that's scary.
Think about that. 9 little seasons. Now 9 more seasons. What is it going to be? 30 combos in one snake? Like
everyone's going to be pushing. Like quadruple, or visual recessives and stuff like that. That's kind of scary.
If you think about it, like 9 years ago, I was selling GHI Mojaves or GHIs for a lot of money, and that's only 2 genes, and bananas I was selling 9 years ago for $2,000 a piece, and I sold 72 in 1 year.
Yeah.
So they get sold like crazy.
I love hearing stuff like that.
Back in the day when my friend Will, remember I told you he was the creator of the banana.
Yeah.
Like he called me to the house when he made his first clutch, and I was holding two of the first baby bananas ever born. And he's like, "You're holding a house right now." I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, they're $125,000 a piece." I go, "So this is $250,000?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "That's awesome." Yeah, it was a pretty cool story. Those
cool.
are back in the old days,
Mm-hmm.
Did he have to
Now,
sell those?
huh?
Did he sell those?
Oh yeah, he sold them and many more.
That's how that's just.
Wow.
That's just
He probably made about $2 million off bananas,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But he moved here. He came here to vacation one day to visit me, from Chicago, and then he bought a house out here, and now he's been living here 6 years by me.
So he's right around you. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he's just down the street.
That's awesome. That's cool.
The old banana king.
Oh wow.
He's still involved in everything too, as well.
Not so much. I've been giving him animals to work on. I gave him my albino bull snakes to work on because I only keep ball pythons here, and I gave him some boas I was working on, and I gave him all that stuff because I just try to do only balls here, one species, and so I gave him some of those things to play with,
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good friend. So I try to keep him involved a little.
I gotcha. So
what else? Do you have any doggos at home?
Hey, what?
Dogs.
Hell yeah! That's
What
all I
you
live
got?
for. See if Harry's here. Harry, Mom, the meatloaf. Start that again. I'll see if I can get him in here. Yeah, I'm madly. Oh, there he comes. One of the dogs. Come here, J-Rock. Come here, buddy.
J-Rock.
I like that.
Oh, this is J-Rock.
Oh my god.
Look at that thing. Look at that.
What a cute.
Yeah, I love my babies. This is J-Rock. He's a Chinese crested, hairless.
Yeah, he is.
You love your daddy, don't you?
Oh, that is.
Yeah, all day long. That's all I spend time with is my dogs.
I love it.
Come here,
Not
Ricky. Come here, Harry. Oh, this is my G right here, Harry. He goes everywhere with me. Now, if you've seen my videos, you've seen Harry, right?
Yeah.
You remember Harry?
I have seen. Yeah.
You're my baby.
That's funny.
He goes everywhere with me. He goes into the bank with me. He goes in the stores with me. Everybody knows him in the neighborhood. Harry goes everywhere with me. He just loves to be. He's crazy. He's my boy.
And he loves the cappuccinos.
Oh yeah, he loves the pup cups.
Pup
Right?
cups.
He's been in a lot of videos with me too. Right, buddy?
Baby.
His face is, man. His face is cute as hell. Look at that head.
Yeah, I love my dogs. They're awesome. I'm home all day because I only do reptiles.
Mm-hmm.
So they're with me every second by my side, all day, all night, like just connected to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I love these guys. I love Chinese cresteds. I want to breed them, but my wife won't let me.
Oh, I wish you would.
She won't let me. She says you'll keep every baby. She says you'll keep every baby. Yeah, she said.
We have.
You'll keep every baby. We'll have 400 dogs.
I do just have a little lap dog.
I know. They're great though. I can't say enough about Chinese crested. I love them. They feel like humans because their skin, and yeah, they're just so cool. They're my favorite.
So, have you dealt with any of the scaleless snakes?
I did. I made a whole bunch of world first scaleless stuff back in the day, and I just was kind of like nobody wanted to purchase them for the right price, and it got a little weird. So I pretty much made my money back, and I made probably $10,000 or $15,000 profit and let it go.
Yeah.
You know,
I held my first one at Earl's house, and it was not for me. I didn't like the feel of it. So.
I think it's kind of cool. I'm not against it. Because I like the scaleless head, rat snakes and all that kind of stuff. They're really cool, good looking too. So I'm not like against it, but they shed weird, little pieces, and they're a little extra work, and for the stress amount of trying to get rid of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do this for a living, so it's not like I'm just like, oh, I'm making all these things. I can't keep 4,000 snakes. I also gotta sell them, so I can't really work with things after a while if they're not gonna sell at all. Hey, babe. If my wife's over Hey, cat. Chicken. So anyways, I want to see if I could have got Ricky for you, my other dog. So yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be, it's not like in this podcast, like all I care about is money, but I do this for a living, which means I don't eat if I don't make money. So people got to understand that too when they're like, oh, you just care about it for the money. No, I love what I do. And if you know me well enough, you know I have a passion for what I do and my animals, my dogs, my tortoises. I don't know. You've seen my tortoises before in videos, right?
Yes.
Yeah, my Galapagoses and my Aldabras. I just love animals, you know. And so, no, it's not just for the money, but I like money.
Who
I
doesn't?
like you. I
Anybody,
don't live.
anybody
I want-
that says that they're in this hobby just for the snakes, I mean, I get it. I mean, that, you know, I get that, but I mean, let's be honest.
I would always have snakes. Okay, when I was a little kid, I used to catch snakes, and then I was buying snakes when I was like 10 because I was allergic to dogs. Any animal with fur, I would definitely get ill with my asthma. My asthma got better when I started getting like 40 years old, but I was definitely ill around animals with fur or anything. So I had only one choice as an animal lover, that's reptiles. And I fell in love with them, and I've had reptiles my whole life. So even if there was no more money in this, I would still own reptiles, and they'd be pets. But would I own 300? No, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd probably have like 50, which, you know, is still a lot for somebody just having pets. But you know what I'm saying? I love snakes. But would I have 300 if I wasn't making money? No.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
But I love it. You know, I love when I sell somebody a snake and they get that and they're like, dude, this thing's awesome. You know, and that's almost the feeling I get when I used to do a tattoo on somebody for, you know, that's permanent for like 3-4 hours, a big massive tattoo, and it comes out better looking than they anticipated. And they're like, dude, and then they get all excited and you feel good inside. I have a pride for what I do. And so when I have a customer go, dude, the snake's way better than I expected, and it won't stop eating, and this and that, and they show me, look, I got a clutch from it. It makes me feel good inside, you know. So it's not just for the money, like I said. I feel good when I do nice things for people, but you know, it takes money to live, you know.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, just keep it real. Let's be realistic about it, you know. I mean, you have to pay bills.
Right.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're not taking care of your animals correctly either. If you're not making money and you can't pay for the bedding and the right proper care, then that's not good.
Right.
Right.
That's why I don't like when people say, "Oh, that snake's $300. It'll take me 6 months to pay it off." I don't want to sell them a snake because if it's $300, it's going to take you 6 months. You're not going to feed it and buy the proper housing. You're not going to do what it takes if it has a problem, because obviously financially you're not in a spot that you should own a snake at that point. That's just how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong to say it, but I just feel like if you can't afford $300,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to, if it ever got sick or this or there, or whatever, you're probably not going to take care of it.
Right.
Yeah. You won't be able to take it to the vet if it gets really bad.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's just my thoughts behind it. So I really don't deal with that crowd too much. Not that I have a problem with that crowd. I like dealing with like the advanced breeder because I like getting in their minds, and I like talking genetics, and I like, you know what I mean, and getting more engaged because I get, you know, I've been doing this a long time. So I mean, I can't talk about spiders for 6 hours, how somebody bred it to their normal, without want to take my eyes and pluck them right out of my skull. You know, I like to talk about advanced stuff. You know, like way more advanced stuff and cool pairings and whatever. Just deep,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's why I don't do shows, because I'm like, oh.
That's why I was like, what would you put with that little red head I have? You know, that,
Yeah.
as I'm the same way. I like to hear what other
But
breeders.
that's not bad. So you asked me an intelligent question with a nice pairing and like a decent genetically put together animal.
Mhm.
Not that it's okay. Let's put it this way. I don't want to sound like a dummy. Okay, so strip all the color off the snake. Strip all the pattern off the snake.
Mhm.
What is it? Ball python.
Yep.
That's it. So you add a couple patterns to some color, shouldn't make you an arrogant person because your snake has more color and pattern. Because at the end of the day, it's still a ball python. It's a
Yep.
ball python. So I hate when people act all arrogant, like, oh, I'm better than you. It's like, dude, you're holding a ball python like I have a ball python. Yours just has a little more color or less or more pattern, but get over it already. We're all owning ball pythons, whether it's $1 million or $2. We're in love with ball python.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I might have to start doing that now.
Am I wrong or am I right?
I'm gonna be like, yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Right. Because at the end of the day, why are you cooler than me or better than me? Because yours has a couple more genes or whatever. It's still the same snake at the end. It's a ball python.
Yep.
So if you love the snake, the species, then I don't know. I'm just saying, I hate arrogant people.
Absolutely.
What's his name from? I think he's called the Acorn Collection. That guy Bubba, but he has like his slogan that says, "Just lock what you love." It's do what you love.
Right.
And I feel that like you did with the bumblebee clown and everything else, and people just do, and then but it don't it's it. That's
right. But you can't do too much of that too, because if you'll end up with a whole house full of snakes if nobody else loves them with you. People don't love them with you, you're in trouble.
You better learn how to use that morph market really good at that point.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on every platform.
I'm one of those real people. I tell the truth, right? You can tell I don't hold nothing back. Like realistically, you got to have a balance. I tell everybody you have a balance. To be successful in this business, you need a small tier, medium, and a high end. If you just work on a high end and high end's not selling, you're making no money.
Right.
The low end is not selling, but the middle is, then it's covering you that way. Some people think, I'm just going to breed quads. Well, good luck. How many quad people do you know that have that kind of money? First of all, you have to have a Rolodex full of quad people that want quads that have the money to buy a quad.
Yeah.
Just because you can make a quad don't mean you can sell a quad.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the only way you can sell a quad is if you network, you're an honest person, you show people for many years that you do quality, and people have spent lots of times money with you and done unboxing videos and just say nothing but nice things about you. So if you do all the right steps, and don't get me wrong, you don't get rich in this business if you don't put in work. If you don't put in a lot of work, forget the dream. You're a fool. I mean, I hate to put it down, put people down. Some people think, oh, this guy's rich because he breeds snakes. Well, you don't understand. He does a lot of work behind the scenes. He's glued to his phone, and he's done a lot of work to get there. Usually no one just grabs the snake and becomes instantly rich. You have to put the work in and make the world love you or love your product, or it feels trustworthy of you.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, is playing a huge part in all of that now. Like, you have to put yourself way out there to even be recognized. And that's where this podcast comes from.
Yep.
Like I'm down here. I want to be up there one day, but I have to take the certain steps,
And why is that? Because you ain't giving up, right?
No,
Right.
I'm not.
You got to crawl
There you
before
go.
you walk.
That's why.
Right.
The only way you're going to make it there is if you don't give up. It's like a treadmill. If you stand still, everybody's going to pass you up. You're going to go nowhere. You just got to keep running, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like you're going nowhere, and sometimes you are going nowhere, and then eventually it clicks over where.
Right
You know
now,
what I mean?
have some eggs.
Well, it's that whole saying, the old saying of you got to crawl before you walk, and that's just that's just the way it is.
So many people get mad because they mortgaged their house or this. I think they're going to get rich just by making snakes. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in the old days when I was in it, it didn't take much to make a lot of money. Because you'd pay a pinstripe for $30,000, you make 2-3 clutches, and then you have a line of people begging you for them for 20 grand the next year or 10 grand.
What was like when back then, like pastel? How much was a pastel back then? Did you?
That was before my time.
Okay.
The pastel, I came in pretty much after the pinstripe was 30 grand, and when the bananas were like around, I think when I got in the market doing well, they were around 80,000 a piece. The bananas. Yeah, and GHIs were like 20K a piece, I think.
What
When
was
I
the
was
first
trying to
snake
buy
that
them,
you
they were
bought then?
10,000 a piece for
Yeah.
just a GHI, and you couldn't buy a male. You had to buy a female, and then you get on the waiting list to get a male.
Oh,
So you had to spend 10 grand to get a GHI, and then you're lucky enough to get a male the next year if you spent the 10 grand on the female.
wow.
So
That's
things have
wild.
changed. Things have changed a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've changed a lot. I mean, just what I said right there should say a lot. Like, and you know,
Right.
the thing was, there wasn't a lot of people doing it, but there was. But when the person invested back then and they produced, people came because they wanted to make that money too.
Mhm.
There's so much competition now because of all the networking and all the social media. Back when I was doing this stuff, we weren't selling on these platforms. It was kink snake, word of mouth, shows.
Yes.
Once Facebook came along, I always said that killed the market a little bit. You know, it changed the market. I should say not killed it, but changed it where anybody could be a player if they put enough time in.
Mhm.
Or before, you had to travel and grind, and there was a lot more work to it to get your stuff out there. Now people go and you know, which is it's nice. You know, I mean, it's nice, but at the same time, it opened Pandora's gate. You know.
Right. So, what is something you suggest for new breeders to do and not do?
New breeders should keep in their mind that it won't be overnight and expect to, if they want it bad enough, to put that grind in, put the social media in, put the networking in. Now, networking is very important, you know,
Absolutely.
because it takes a team. It takes a team to sell snakes.
Right.
Some people think, oh, this guy sells so many snakes, but that guy you don't know has 5 other people that behind the scenes that you don't know that actually do work for that guy and sell his animals too.
Mhm.
Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's because he has good networking and he's got everything moving the right way.
Mhm.
It took me a very long time to understand how things work. A long time, hard process. But that's pretty much it. I mean, if you have good friends, good networking, you make sure you keep everybody happy that's working with you,
Yes.
you can get things done. It's like
Right.
anything else in the world. You keep your employees happy and you're going to be productive. You try to be, you know, you hope, you know.
Right.
Right.
But that's pretty much, it's just like real life. This people got to treat this like a business. You said, what should I tell new people? And even some of the older guys. A lot of the people in this industry, I feel now, are treating this like a business at all. They're
Yeah.
treating it like extra money or just not
Mhm.
treating it like a business. And I think we were more business minded early on, like some of the people, where we would not sell to certain people because we know that person would blow it out and drop the price really quick. So we would sacrifice making that big pile of cash to give it to somebody else, so to get out of that person's hand, because that
Mhm.
person was known to be that person that would all over a project just to
Huh.
make a lot of money.
Right.
So back in the day, we had to play a lot of politics, and we had to know who we were selling to, so we didn't ruin projects and devalue them. It's a whole different world now, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. It was
You
pretty
know what-
cutthroat back then, wasn't it?
Huh?
It was pretty cutthroat back then.
It was very controlled.
Mhm.
Controlled. If you were acting up and you shouldn't get a team to ruin everybody else's money and what they invested, then you were on the list.
Wow.
Mhm.
And so what the people on the list would do would have one of their buddies buy it. That no one knew who that guy was, so you'd end up getting it anyways sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a lot of shenanigans. A lot of
Yeah.
shenanigans. There you go. It's shenanigans. But you know what though? It kept things longer. It kept projects going longer.
Yeah.
With a lot more people can get, you know, some of the gravy, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, do you buy from overseas?
Do I buy from overseas?
Yeah.
No, I sell to overseas though.
Mhm.
Look at that. That's when you know you've made it big, right?
I got a package going. I sold some to Bangkok. I got some going to Japan. think next week or two in Japan, and then I sell to the UK too a lot.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that was also networking too.
Yeah. Always
go-
doing the networking.
Do you go and visit? Do you go out there over there in Europe? Do you go visit over there?
No. I'm a homeboy. My dogs need me here.
That's
I
right.
don't really.
You buy a
honestly,
couple seats for your dogs. No, I know.
I really don't get out much, man. I play my guitar, play with the dogs, play with the snakes, tortoises, hang out with the wife, my grandkids, and then I jump on my boat and go catch sharks. Then I come back home, wash the boat, and then play with snakes. And
Do it all
I
over
don't-
again.
All over again.
yeah, I don't do a lot. It's pretty much more family, like animals and grandkids and daughter, my son. It's more of that and hang out with the wife and all the work. So I don't really do a lot of venturing out more.
I have a short clip I need to play. Oh yeah, we cannot
Yeah.
forget this.
Yeah. We're doing a little weight loss challenge.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
screwed.
Exactly. I'm miserable.
I'm screwed.
So we're actually going to Tinley this October, and that guy Antoine from High Desert Pythons, he's like a promoter / he's actually having a charity like wrestling matches now.
Oh really?
Yeah. So there's this guy that's on Long Island, Baker from Blue Line Morphs, and then Anthony out in California from Redwood.
Yeah.
They're actually like the main event of fighting. So they're gonna be grappling. I'm fighting another local breeder from here. He's retired.
Kevin from Sugar Skulls.
Kevin from
That-
Sugar Skulls.
That's awesome.
So, and then the charity, the money is going to go to 50% is going to go to Brian Barczyk, and then 50% is going to USR.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So-
And then you guys are doing that at Tinley, the match?
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
And to get him
Yeah.
in shape, we're doing this contest.
So, and
That's awesome.
And the loser has to, he would have to wear a dress if he
I
loses.
have to wear a dress for an hour at Tinley
At
if I
Tinley.
lose this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And if I
So
lose,
somebody's got so you guys are in a contest who can lose the most weight before Tinley?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you have to wear if you lose?
Unfortunately, my daughter thought of this up and said, let's just paint her face like a clown. So I said, that's cool. And then she had to do the show in the clown makeup. But I get to design the clown makeup. So don't tell me there's not going to be a bunch of testicles on her forehead.
Yeah. I'm
Right?
like the dress is the worst side of it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be screwed.
and it's funny because he keeps adding on stuff. Oh, and she has to do a whole show.
I haven't
with
added on
makeup.
anything
It's
at
like
all.
he keeps adding shit to it, and I'm
know
like,
So
wow.
who's winning so far?
We don't know.
Not yet. We're not. Yeah, no, it's 3 months. So we're keeping it low key. I'm not telling her how much I lost already.
Ah.
Yep. So
I thought maybe it's a little bit here and there, and okay.
So
yeah,
it's
still hard though.
It's gonna be a power push. 1 month I'm gonna be losing about 15-20 pounds.
Damn, bro.
And it's already taking him that long.
I already lost that much already. So, but I'm gonna
I
be
have
putting
Oh,
on that whatchamacallit, the sweatsuit, the
Yeah,
rubber
right.
suit. I'm gonna be running. We pass
Hey,
out.
I had to do that wrestling and run around a hot room with a garbage bags. Oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
Just come down here to Oklahoma. All you have to do is walk outside. You're there.
That's bad.
Yeah.
It's so soupy here.
So
No,
Yeah, it's pretty thick here tonight too.
yeah. It was miserable today cleaning the rats. We have them in our garage. And they're in the air conditioner. But whenever it's time to clean, we open up the door and everything.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
it was just so gross out there today.
Oh yeah, I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I've tried before.
There's a guy down the block from me that that has a good breeding thing, and so it's easier for me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean-
guys. Well, I've got places to be, and I'm sure y'all do too. Ken, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and I want to thank you for taking
Yeah,
the
you guys
time.
are cool. I appreciate it too. It's pretty cool.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that purchase too, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep me posted, how it's doing,
Oh, I'm 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you guys, and we'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Whenever
Thank
you're
you so
ready.
much, Ken.
I didn't get the meatloaf. I'll see you guys.